When Kenya was forced to close its airspace in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, international visitor arrival declined sharply from an approximate 2 million people to 500,000 from majorly Kenya's major trading partner Uganda, followed by the United States. What followed was massive job losses due to unsustainable businesses, and this led to players in the industry resort to new techniques like mergers, restructures, incentives, innovation, and also partnerships. At the same time, other countries started to issue travel bans, and Kenya reciprocated. But just when tourism was turning to domestic travel, a dusk-to-dawn curfew was pronounced and inter-county lockdown implemented. After COVID-19 infection rates started to decline and inter-county lockdown lifted, in a never-seen situation, Kenyans took to domestic travel, sampling various destinations in the country. This was partly motivated by incentives given by the Ministry of Tourism, like slashing of prices for park entry and also featuring on the President's stimulus program, where the tourism sector was allocated 6 billion shillings to revive the sector, as it was mostly affected by restricted movements and the termination of international flights. COVID-19, on the positive end, took domestic tourism a notch higher as the sector's significance became more visible due to several factors, including the industry players coming together to curate attractive packages for domestic tourists. The country's tourism industry managed to remain afloat by harnessing domestic travel. The National Museums of Kenya had their share of challenges. Their role of enhancing knowledge, appreciation, respect, and sustainable utilization of cultural resources for the benefit of Kenyans and the world received a major setback. An example was the closure of museums and social amenities, plus the banning of festivals and cultural activities in Lamu Old Town, which depends on tourism for its economy. The locals received a major hit.
Welcome to the museum. This is Nairobi National Museum, where we talk of history, culture. So we are in the Hall of Kenya. You can see by the guards behind me. So we talk about how COVID has impacted to the number of tourists visiting this area. So COVID has really affected because before we used to have an influx of tourists. And every moment, in every minute, we have a tourist coming in. Every second, we have a tourist coming in, especially for the international tourists. But right now, we are improving, especially during the COVID period. It was bad because many people were not coming in, especially the international tourists. But after now, the COVID, we are during post-COVID right now, so the tourists are coming in, and the domestic tourist has really risen up because we are seeing more domestic tourists coming in. So that is basically the citizens, and for the international tourists, we are still picking up, and we hope that by the end of the year, we will be having a better percentage of tourists that are coming in.
From safaris in the Masai Mara and other wildlife reserves to holidays on Indian Ocean beaches, Kenya's tourism industry contributes about 10% of economic output and employs over 2 million people. However, according to the Ministry of Tourism, the sector shed nearly 1.2 million jobs after the onset of the pandemic, but it has since started to claw back some of those losses on the back of the tentative recovery.